Evening. We're going to go ahead and get started with the special city commission meeting for Monday, June 30th, 2025. If I can please have the clerk call the roll.
I'm still here.
She's coming. She's coming.
Commissioner Villa Vasquez,
Still here.
Commissioner Colwell,
Here.
Commissioner Howington,
Here.
Commissioner Lally,
Here.
Commissioner Santiago,
Here.
Vice Mayor Harriet,
Here.
Mayor Villa.
Here. This time we're going to stand for the pledge, and I'll ask Commissioner Caldwell to lead us in the pledge. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. We're going to go into action items. A, if I can please have the city attorney read the ordinance.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is ordinance number 29-2025, an ordinance of the City of Deltona, Florida, providing for imposition of a temporary moratorium on issuance of development orders and permits and on the processing of development applications, city code text amendments, rezonings, comprehensive plan text, and land use plan amendments for development of residential dwelling units within the city, exempting specified development, providing for waivers, providing for vested rights, providing for appeals, providing for exhaustion of administrative remedies, providing for a term not to exceed 9 months unless extended by the City Commission as provided by law, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date. This is second reading. As you all may recall
Before
from...
we start that section out this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Please.
I hereby move to approve ordinance number 29-2025.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Howington. Is there a second?
Second.
There was a second by Commissioner Lully, correct? Okay.
Yeah, and as you all may recall from the previous hearing, the Planning and Zoning Board had recommended 3 changes to the ordinance, of which one was accepted, exempting the infill residential development for single-family homes. So that has been added to this ordinance on second reading. And one additional piece of information that the commission should be aware of is that since the time of publication of this agenda and the agenda memo referencing SB 180, SB 180 has been signed into law. So the provisions of that bill are now active.
Okay. We're nobody on the board, so we'll go ahead to public comment.
Dana McCool, please.
Mr. Mayor and Commission, I want us to keep in mind here, I agree with this moratorium. I'm one of the first commissioners that voted for the moratorium when it came up last time and been involved with responsible growth in this town for the last 8 years. So the fact is not lost on me how important this is. What I do take exception to, however, is the dramatics surrounding this, because it takes away from the seriousness of what we're trying to do. And I mean online especially. The fear porn that's being thrown out instead of factual representation is something that I take exception to, because we are a serious city, and that's getting negated by all of the fear porn tactics that are being thrown out and things that are being talked about. So I'm going to ask us, as we talk about this, to move forward with this information. Deltona has 26,304 acres, okay, and we only have about 300 acres of that left for development in parcels and what we can collect impact fees on. So that's less than 1% of what we have here to build on. 12 available commercial land properties at 107.83 acres and residential, 19 at 104. So I want us to think about the ROI on this and our impact fees and move progressively through the impact fee. And the community should know about this. When you're talking about this, be genuine about what we're talking about. Because the things that are thrown out here paints us in a bad light. And the narrative is that we're chasing money as opposed to creating more revenue streams. We should be courting the state and the counties right now about grants to take care of what we're looking for, the capital improvements and stormwater. That's what it's at heart here, flooding. So as you move through, please stop with the dramatics on the online BS and get to work with doing what we actually need done. I am at the head of the org chart, so I am telling you that's what the job is here. Thank you.
Stephanie Cox, please.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to be here. Thank you for listening to me tonight. We need to think about our future and our children's future and everybody else's future, because we are digging ourselves a hole that we are not going to get out of. We need to stop this building process, move forward with the moratorium. Thank you.
Tim Blodgett, please.
It really does appear that the state has no idea what our problems are, unfortunately. And if we're going to get sued for every time we try to protect our town, I don't know. Is it worth it? You guys would know better than I do. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to support whatever you guys decide. If we're going to lead a fight against the state, great, but I'd rather we were not the spearhead of it. I wouldn't mind us joining somebody else, like Windermere. They got deep pockets, but Deltona really doesn't. So, as best you think best, knock your socks off.
Catherine Gallagher.
Good evening. Hi. I just really want to let you know that I am in favor of the moratorium because I don't believe that developers' wishes and profits should come before the citizens' health and lives and safety. They're just being flooded out, and I believe that our impact fees need to fix all of the problems, and just really let's get on the same page and let's try to make our city better. Thank you.
Kathy Bryan.
Good evening, Kathy Bryan, Deltona. You know, we had that moratorium before, and previous commissions did nothing about it, even though lots of us stood up here and said, what about the moratorium? Over and over again, but they were too busy firing a city manager and hiring one that really didn't give a crap about a moratorium. So here we are again, here we are facing the state. What I say to you is that this state can't bear the unchecked development we've been seeing, whether it's our water supply, the flooding that washes off the roads, the chemicals in the lawns, etc., going into our water system. And eventually, we've already got saltwater intrusion in places, so eventually our water supply is going to go down, and we run a real chance of desertifying Florida. If you don't know what that means, go look at what the Mideast used to look like a long time ago. and even areas of America. We are ruining the reasons people come down here to live. I'm sorry that the state's doing that, but I would be real curious if we have some other cities that would be on board and some other counties that home rule. Because if there are enough, I say go with the moratorium. We really have to slow it down and think smartly. How much would even improving our roads help out, even if it was 30 seconds worth, help out the fire department response time? So there's a lot of things to consider. And the state just doesn't know different pockets of Florida. Every city's got different needs. So I encourage it. I really don't think we need the development as much as people think we do. Thank you.
Allison Root.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and staff. My name is Allison Root. I am a longtime resident of Deltona and the Executive Officer for the VBIA, representing hundreds of companies and thousands of their employees here in Volusia County. As each of you were sworn into your positions, you took an oath to office to uphold not only the U.S. Constitution, but the state of Florida legislation. As commissioners, you are charged with maintaining both law and order and setting that example for our community. Last week, Governor DeSantis signed SB 180. Whether you are in favor of it or you are not in favor of it, it is our current legislation. And it is in effect today, with parts of it retroactive to August 1st of 2024. It is my hope that you understand that passing a moratorium tonight would be in direct defiance of state legislation that you were sworn to uphold. If you would like to fight this battle with taxpayer dollars, that's something you can do, but that's not a decision that's been made tonight. Our city is in jeopardy of losing millions of dollars in attorney fees, not only what you're going to need to pay your attorneys, but what you'll have to pay for complainants' attorney fees as well. And like someone else said, we don't have the money for that. The misconception that this bill does not take effect until tomorrow, I believe is just that, a misconception. I have read that bill from front to end a million times, and nowhere does July 1st pop in that is the effective date. It goes into effect the day it becomes law, which is the day it was signed by the governor last week, with the exception of the retroactive portion that went into effect as of August 2024. So it is my hope, as not only a resident of Deltona, but as someone who has business here, that you do the right thing tonight.
Thank you.
Mayor, that ends public comments.
All right, can we go ahead and vote, please?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I do want to clarify one thing before you vote. The bill was signed by the governor on June 26th. It is in effect today. It does not go into effect July 1st. It is in effect right now. It is state law that moratorium under the bill, SB 180, are not permitted. Effectively, a moratorium very likely will be considered null and void upon passage. And as we've discussed previously, and as we talked about during first reading, if this moratorium is passed and it is challenged as permitted under SB 180 by a resident or business owner, and there is a grace period where we can repeal it. But if we elect not to do that and they move forward and they prevail in a civil action, they will be awarded attorney's fees and costs.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go ahead and vote, please. We called for a vote.
Comments?
All right, we're going to go through one comment, Commissioner Lully, and then Commissioner Vila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. I just had one question for the city attorneys. We discussed a topic earlier today about getting consensus for something about kind of on this topic. Would it be appropriate to do that now as part of this motion, or can we do that during your comment section, or can you just guide me on that? We discussed getting research and...
So I believe you're alluding to, we had a conversation about researching what other cities may be looking to challenge the legislation. Mm-hmm. I would recommend that it be done under a separate motion rather than under the motion that's on the floor right now. We can certainly take that direction during attorney comments.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Vila Vasquez.
Thank you, Mayor. So before we take a vote, I just want to make a comment. So this is a serious and very important decision that we have to make. And by no means are we stopping developers from developing. What we're asking is for a pause to slow down and let the city heal the wounds that are already out there. There's a lot of our residents who are hurting, still suffering from the floods. And I read some of the information about this SB 180. And it talks about people who were affected by the previous hurricanes are not even considered. They're just going right over their heads. So it's a shame that we took an oath, but I took an oath to protect the residents of the city of Deltona. And by the state forcing us to go over what our residents want by threatening to sue us, it's shameful. These are our residents. These are the people that voted for us to be up here on this dais to speak on their behalf. And we're told to zipper our mouth. Deltona has so much development on it, and that's the reason that we are sucking up most of the water from the Blue Springs. This is what brought the project from Lakeshore Drive to the city of Deltona, because we have to start pumping back all this water that we're using. So here comes more development sucking up more water. This is a serious situation that we're going through. Let's heal our wounds. Let's help our residents heal their wounds by helping them fix. And I understand. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'll take that back. I really don't understand what Tallahassee is trying to do to us. They're tying our hands, and they're saying, your residents they're hurting, but you can't help them because we don't let you. We don't want you to. It's a shame. It really is a shame. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Liz, can you please put us up for a vote? Did you want to speak, Commissioner Hamilton? Okay, go ahead.
Can we repeat the motion, please? Can't hear you.
Liz, your mic is off.
I move to approve ordinance 29, 2025. 1 second, I'm sorry. I apologize. Is it popping up on your thing?
No. You could do a verbal vote, that's fine.
Okay. Commissioner Vila Vasquez?
Yes.
Commissioner Colwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Harrington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lowry?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
No.
Vice Mayor Harriet?
No.
Mayor Vila?
No. Motion passes 4-3. We're going to go ahead and move on to section 4B. If I can please have the city attorney read the resolution request.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is resolution number 2025-71, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Deltona, Florida, designating the Planning and Development Services Director as the administrative official responsible for the administrative approval of plats and replats in accordance with section 177.071 Florida Statutes 2025, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date. This is a resolution directly responsive to Senate Bill 784, which was also passed during this legislative session, which goes into effect tomorrow, July 1st, and requires that certain plats and replats be administratively approved by a designated official or employee of the local government. Because the planning and Development Services Director is the official designated for other administrative approvals in the Land Development Code, we felt it was appropriate to designate for this function as well.
Thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. Nobody's on the board. Whoever wants to make the motion is fine. Go ahead.
Make a motion to approve resolution.
Your mic is off. There you go.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-71, City of Deltona Administrative Plat, per Senate Bill 784.
Second.
So motion by Commissioner Santiago, second by Vice Mayor Harriet. Commissioner Lully, you're on the board, and if nobody else is on the board, we'll go to public comment.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to clarify with city attorneys. I know we discussed earlier, but I did have some questions from the public. With the way the law is written, we cannot appoint the commission or a commissioner in this particular role.
That is correct. It is expressly required to be an administrative approval. It cannot be the governing body or a member of the governing body.
Okay, thank you.
All right, public comment, please.
No, sir.
All right, can we please vote? Go ahead with a verbal vote, it's fine.
Yes.
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 Yes, the vote passes 7-0. This time we'll go to city attorney comments.
Thank you so much. We have 4 items to discuss tonight. The first is a memorandum of law that I sent to you all yesterday. It's dated June 29th, 2025. This is the impact of the Senate Bill 180. This memorandum goes over the bill, the impacts of the bill. It talks about local emergency powers, transparency and reporting obligations, building, permitting, and storm recovery, local government regulations and limitations, state preemption authority, and it makes some recommendations with respect to compliance actions. Now, I know that you all have had a chance to review this, but I just want to talk about the compliance actions and certainly take any questions you all might have. So, in light of this bill, it is critical that the city revise its emergency procedures and conduct staff trainings to ensure that the procedures are in place to comply with any local emergency declarations that are required under the bill, as well as the transparency and reporting obligations. The city should have a plan in place for post-storm permitting and inspections. It's also suggested that the city will evaluate all ordinances enacted from August 1st, 2024 until now to identify whether there's a potential conflict with the provisions of Senate Bill 180. We also would encourage you from enacting any ordinance that imposes moratorium or adopts any more restrictive land use regulations or permitting procedures during any time period when it's prohibited, because the city of Deltona is prohibited under Senate Bill 180 from enacting moratorium on construction, redevelopment, or more restrictive land use amendments from 1 year post landfall of the storms called out in Senate Bill 180. Because the city was most impacted recently by Hurricane Milton, the actions that are in the bill are retroactive to August 1st, 2024, do apply to the city of Deltona. So happy to take any questions, but this obviously has provided to the city manager. I had a good call with him Saturday, and we talked through all these things. Certainly, these are things that he'll be implementing on the staff side, but we just wanted to make you all aware, and if you have any questions about any of this, we're happy to discuss. But if not, we do have a few other items.
Commissioner Lully.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess this would be the opportunity. I wanted to see if we could get consensus to provide you direction on some next steps in regards to this. And we discussed this earlier today. I wanted to see if you could reach out to other municipalities to determine what actions, if any, they are taking in regards to this. I think I'll leave it there for now. And keep it a little bit more broad and generic, but I do want to see how others are reacting to this and what are some tools that would be available to us through legal channels to I don't want to use it too strong of a verb, but to address this.
To address Senate Bill 180?
Yes.
So, thank you so much. As per our discussion, certainly there are other governments, potentially the Florida League of Cities, potentially other cities and counties. I think there are certain cities that are, particularly hard hit by Senate Bill 180 that have certainly, there's been mutterings in the city attorney world about who's going to be taking action. And if the commission directs us to, we're happy to reach out to the other governments that we're aware of and the other city attorneys that we have relationships with and contact with, and see what other cities and counties or other related groups, affected groups, are planning to take action. And we could bring you a report so you all can make some decisions if there's anyone you want to join in with or support. We could have this at least as much as we can get by the next meeting on July 7th. So if the commission provides direction to do so, we're happy to do so.
Mayor, could it be appropriate to get consensus from the commission to do everything that Mr. Sevilla has just so eloquently explained?
Sure.
Okay.
Real quick, Mayor. This is an investigatory in nature, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we're not giving them direction to take action on anything?
No action
No,
at this
it's just
time.
investigative.
They would give us information on potential actions to take.
And potential partners that might be taking action that we might be aligned with. I think that's the goal.
All right, so did you want to make that motion, Commissioner Lally?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion for consensus from the commission to direct the city attorney to reach out to other municipal partners to determine potential action for the commission to consider as it relates to Senate Bill 180 and any other actions the city attorney sees appropriate for that cause.
Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Lally, second by Commissioner Avila Vasquez. Can you please do a verbal vote, Liz?
Yes.
Yes. Harrington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lally?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
No.
Vice Mayor Harriet?
Yes.
Mayor Villa?
No. Motion passes 5-2.
Thank you. Oh, any other questions?
Nobody else is on the board. You can proceed.
Okay, thank you so much. So the next thing I want to talk about is we did receive a pre-suit notice that we sent to you all. We received this on June 27th, which is the day after Senate Bill 180 became law, from Rebecca Roden and her firm representing the property owner, Howland Station Condo Developers, LLC, for the properties at 1600, 1620, 1625, 1630, and 1635 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard that are commonly referred to as Howland Station. They have filed this notice of intent to file suit under Senate Bill 180. We provided it to you all, so we just wanted to let you all know that this is the first challenge that we've received to an ordinance, and this is with respect to the Live Local ordinance, which was passed on second reading in December 2024. As you all know, we have already been sued by the Howland Station Condo Developers, LLC, so there is already an action. It's unclear from this letter whether they plan to bring a separate action or simply amend their complaint and add a count to their existing action, which is what I would imagine they would do. But they have filed their intent, and so we will, and we can do this at the meeting next week. We can put an item on and we can put this letter on and discuss it a little more in depth. But we just wanted to flag that for you because that's obviously something that is impactful, and there's that clock, that 14-day clock, as per Senate Bill 180 that we've talked about before that has started to run. So,
Do you want to request a shade meeting?
not on this.
Okay.
So this pre-suit, so we're not going to request a notice on a shade on this, but I just want to let you know we're planning to bring this next week to the meeting so that we can have it on the agenda, so there can be more discussion. Any questions about the pre-suit notice? Now,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just make sure so I can call people on time. Just make sure you're checking off. please, because I didn't see it. Go ahead, Commissioner Hamilton.
This is the property where we had deemed that the application was incomplete due to the fact that they did not get permission from the city to purchase the property per the special deed?
Correct. It was deemed incomplete, and we have a very good writing from their attorney at the time that acknowledges that the application was incomplete. And yet, here we are. That actually leads us to the next topic. We would like to request a shade meeting on that case, the Howland Station condo developers versus the city of Deltona. We'd like to request it as soon as possible, but likely before the next meeting on the 7th. Our outside counsel would like to likely appear on video if that's acceptable. We can bring them here, but it's obviously a tight turnaround. So if you all are okay with it, we'd like to request a shade meeting. We think it'll be 30 minutes. We can do it before or after the CRA meeting. And if you find it acceptable for them to appear on video.
I'll make a motion to get consensus for a shade meeting before or after the CRA meeting, and it be acceptable for outside counsel to appear remotely.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor, second by Commissioner Howington. Can we make this a time certain? Is 5 o'clock? What time is our CRA meeting?
I believe it's at 5:15.
Yes, I believe that's correct. Is that correct, Liz? Yes.
Would it be okay with the commission to do it at 4:30? Because my issue is that our meetings start running into each other, and then we have the public waiting, and I don't want to get that. So do you guys mind amending your motion to have it go from 4:30 to 5, please?
My preference would be that we do it after the CRA meeting.
We have a commission meeting right after.
We're getting into the predicament where it would be better if we could have a 5 o'clock and a 5:30 and then the 6. I don't know if that's something we can do without the city manager here. I imagine it is.
Yeah, I mean, you all could certainly elect to move the other meetings back in time. So if you have the CRA start at 5:30 rather than 5:15 and just move everything back, the importance of advertising of meetings is to make sure that there is proper notice for people to arrive on time. So pushing things back a few minutes is generally acceptable.
So I'll amend my motion for those 3 meetings to start at 5 o'clock.
So 5 o'clock CRA, 5:30 shade.
I'm leaving that open.
Okay, great.
So
And we did talk to the manager before this, and he was comfortable with restructuring the meetings however you all wanted to see
Okay.
to do that.
fantastic.
Are you okay with that?
I'll second.
Okay. Commissioner Villa-Vasquez, before we vote on that, I know you have your...
Yes, so each meeting is going to be for 30 minutes, is what you're saying, even the CRA meeting?
No.
So because I'm just a little concerned here, we're giving ourselves such little times to discuss very important things. I don't know how other commissioners feel, but CRA for me is very important. 15 minutes is not going to cut it. So I'm just concerned that we're just cutting, ourselves the time to discuss these things.
If you don't mind, since I made the motion, my intent was to provide 30 minutes for the CRA meeting, 30 minutes for the attorney meeting, and then
That was my question. I was
Yeah.
told no, so.
that was the intent, was that it would be 30 minutes, and then on schedule for the regular commission meeting.
So 5:30, 6:30. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Commissioner Lally?
Thank you, Mayor. Just briefly, I just wanted to flag that I will not be here in person at next week's meeting, so please don't rely on me for a quorum for any of those. Thank you.
Okay. Liz, can we please vote?
Commissioner Villa-Vasquez?
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell?
Yes.
Commissioner Howington?
Yes.
Commissioner Lully?
Yes.
Commissioner Santiago?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harriet?
Yes.
Mayor Villa?
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. You have your consensus.
Thank you so much. Unless you all have any other comments or questions for us, that concludes our items.
Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.